I have a very tight grouping there, and that's because I've practiced a lot. I'm also at a very short distance. Set me out about 10 yards, my grouping is going to spread out a little bit. But with practice over several years with this thing, I've gotten pretty good with it, and here's how you can too. I would like to give a back history on blowguns itself. Blowguns are a very ancient survival primitive tool, and they've been used throughout history in various locations. The Native Americans of North America used them, the Amazonian tribes have used them in South America, and they're still used popularly today in a lot of tribal systems. They're not as modernized, however. What they were used for in the past were mostly as a poisonous, long-term tracking device. They don't have the penetration. And what they would do is they would take bamboo or another type of maybe river cane. They would carve out darts that was very sharp, very long, very accurate. They would take the tips of them and either use a piranha jaw or maybe some flint rock. Either way, they would carve down the tip of it just enough to where it's about ready to snap off. You would boil down your poison, and I would like to do that in a separate video one day. However, for now, you would make your curare. You would, whatever plants you had available, whatever kind of venom or poison you had, you could kill snakes, mambas, rattlesnakes, copperheads, anything like that. Especially the ones that's neurotoxins. You just take that down, you boil it into a substance, or if it's a poison like a snake, you milk it, it's already in liquid substance, just coat the tips of your darts in it, and you load it away safely to where you're not going to poke yourself with the dart. Takes a lot of practice, a lot of safety, and it's not meant for children. Then you take a good hunter, someone who's advanced and has practiced a long time with this. Traditional blowguns are very long. The longer they are, usually the more power they have. You shoot your target, you allow the poison to take effect, you track them, you watch them. Oftentimes the monkeys and stuff that would be shot with the poison darts, they would sit up there and they wouldn't even know they got shot. They wouldn't even run, and if they did, it wouldn't be very far, and they would hide. They would sit in a tree and they would wait, and then the poison would slowly take over. They'd lose control of their body, they'd fall out of the tree and onto the ground, and there's your dinner. Nowadays, we have very nice blowguns. I have some very nice Coldsteel darts here. These are made for penetration. They have broadhead ends on them, so when they come through, they're going to rip a hole, and they're going to kill whatever I hit usually. I've taken down several squirrels and rabbits and even some birds with this thing. And if you get into the bigger broadheads, then you can see videos of people taking down rams and deer and stuff with them. I've never done that. I want to stay humane with it and not cause any animal suffering. So whatever I take down, I want to make sure that I can take it down relatively quick. A blowgun nowadays is set up a lot different. Now this isn't a 15-foot blowgun like you might see in the Amazon. This is a 5-foot blowgun. But the longer the blowgun is, the easier it is to aim, and the more power you are going to get out of that blowgun, up to a certain point, and then you will lose some power if it's too long. Now let's skip all the history part, and let's learn how to aim this thing. First thing you have to remember is your instinctive shot. When you were a kid and you took a baseball and you would throw it at the catcher or the bat, you knew where to throw that and you knew where to place it. You didn't aim necessarily, you just looked, you threw, and it ended up where you took it. It's a lot like that. It's just instinctive shooting. You just take, you aim, you look at your target, you look at the heart of that rabbit or the head of that rabbit, whatever you're shooting at, and you let that arrow fly or that dart fly. It's very instinctive, but there is a few ways you can aim these things. First off, I would tell you go out there and make sure your hand-eye coordination is good, because ultimately that's where you're going to be shooting at. The next step is gap shooting. It's a lot like archery. If you're familiar with recurve archery, which is also a sport I attend, it's gap shooting. You basically pay attention to your target with your direct vision. And then in your peripheral vision, you have your blowgun aimed out. So you're looking at your target, and then down here you see your blowgun, you kind of aim it in line with it. As long as that is in line with your target, it's going to hit in the center of it, but the depth of it might be wrong, and that's when your depth perception plays a role. You just got to learn where your drop rates are, based off your constant blowing effect. Now, you don't want to have hard blows and soft blows, and it sounds wild, but I don't want to go every single time, and then sometimes have like a little blow, because your drop ratios are going to drop off a lot. You want to make sure that you're very consistent in how hard you blow in this thing. So once you get your consistent shot down, or your consistent blow down, you want to make sure that your breath is the same every time, you're blowing the same consistency, so that your drop rate's going to be the same exact way every time. And then it's just practice, practice, practice. You figure out how far you need to aim down. For me, it's about an inch at about 20 feet. And then it goes on. Of course, this is going to have a lot more drop than a 50-pound recurve is. So you got to just learn how to differentiate what you're doing and what you're shooting and go from there. But really, it's a lot of gap shooting. Here's the fun part. This is what your vision looks like when you're blowing that blowgun. You see how it's in the center of your face? Well, that's the cool thing. It's not to the far left, it's not to the far right, it's in the center. So it's not like a bow in the sense that you have to have a dominant eye and work with it and figure out your pattern. This is very consistent because it's in the center of your face. So you just aim it down to where you're shooting at. So I'm aiming at those darts. Well, if I put it there, I know it's going to go above the darts. But if I put it down below it, well, that's where it's going to hit at. And that would actually probably Robin Hood a dart right there if I was to put it there from this distance. And the farther away you get, the higher up you aim. And eventually you're going to be aiming over top of it. About 30 feet actually, I'd probably be aiming right above it or right on it. But you just kind of watch and see where your depth is, where your drop ratio is. And not everybody's the same. My 20 feet drop ratio versus your 20 feet drop ratio is going to be a lot different. Just remember to look down the center of it. Now here's the crazy part you're not seeing on camera. When you look with your eyes, you're actually going to see two of these tubes. And down the center of those, if you want to aim more consistently, here's a little trick. So there's going to be two of these in my peripheral vision. I'm looking at my target and I see two tubes. One's going to be to the right just a little bit, one's going to be to the left just a little bit. And the way I'm going to do that, and that's just the way your eyes play tricks because both eyes are open when you're doing this. So instead of like aiming and trying to close an eye, don't ever close your eye when you're shooting a blowgun. You will miss if you close your eyes. It's just because you're going to put it to one side more than the other and it's going to be off. You want to keep both eyes open because this is a both eye open contact. And it helps with your drop ratio also. You find out where your two barrels are out of your peripheral vision, and right between those two barrels is your aim point. And that's where you're going to put the very center of that directly in line of your target. Now, most people can focus on their target and not focus on the two barrels, and eventually after some practice, you'll get to where you won't focus on it. But at the beginning, if you're having trouble finding your aim, that might help you. And just look in between the two barrels. Don't really have a way to show you on camera how that looks, but get you a blowgun, look down the barrel, you'll see that there's two of them. When you look down it, just right in the center of those two is where your aim point is. Put that in line of it, figure out your drop ratio, fire. Honestly, that's about all I can teach you with the blowgun as far as aiming. It's a lot of practice, practice, practice. Get out there, shoot. If you miss, don't give up. Look, I've been shooting blowguns for about 7 years now. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love the blowgun. And I've taken down some very nice praise, some pretty good distances with it. I didn't start off good though. I started off okay, but that's because I practiced natural instinctive shooting. If you've never thrown a baseball in your life and you've never practiced instinctive shooting, there's a good chance you're going to grab a hold of this thing and you might not be able to shoot the broadside of a barn. All I can tell you is just practice, 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 get your depth ratio down, figure out your aim, and then shoot some more. Because if you don't shoot it, you will lose it, and that's not a fun time to relearn. I hope you guys found this video useful. Check out some of my other blowgun videos I have on the channel. I have some hunting videos on here, practice, just walking around, all the good stuff. I also have tons of other outdoorsy videos where I go hiking, kayaking, camping, hunting, and even shoot a little bit of archery. Thanks guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. Peace out.